2 or 3, right? Okay. Right now, let's go back into pits and rejoin Sarah Santarski with the Red Alliance's EngiNERDs. Do it again. Want me to do it? What are we waiting for? You know? Oh, because of the timeout. Okay. Let's go back in the pitch right now. Sarah Santarski talking with the EngiNERDs from the Red Alliance.
I'm here with Colin Sacchi of Team 2337. Now, what is your strategy heading into these finals?
Personally, our robot will likely be playing defense on some of the other alliances' big scores, probably like 469 and 3539, especially trying to prevent them from picking up discs from the ground, because that's one of their strengths.
All right, what are you expecting your alliance members to help you with?
I expect 67 will probably be continuing to do their full court shots that they've been doing throughout, and 2054 will likely play the same role as 469 and 3539, running around and picking up discs off the ground and trying to score as many as we can.
All right, thank you, Colin. Now back to you, Dan and Dave.
All right, everyone's got their strategy all set. Nothing's going to really come out of left field here.
That's what it sounded like. The young man, he knew what he was talking about, right? And so I think this is going to be, you know, sometimes say mano on mano here. It's like, we're going to start firing. You take your best shot. We're going to take our best shot, and we'll see who puts up the most points here. You know, one of the brightest minds in all first, we saw an interview with Dan Kimura earlier. You never know. He may have something up his sleeve there, a little trick to pull out. Again, these teams that I mentioned earlier, there's 6 world championships out there too. Team 469, world champs in 2003. Team 67, world champs in 2005. Team 217, world champs 2006 and 2008, and then 67, back-to-back world champs in 2009 and 2010. So they've been to the biggest stages in all of first. And to me, this is the second biggest stage in all of first. 2 weeks from now, we are going to be at the Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis. Over 400 teams. First robotics competition. Let me try that again, Dan. 400 first robotics competition teams will gather there, and we'll see them play it out. There'll also be first Lego League teams, first Tech Challenge teams. It's a celebration beyond, you know, what you can believe. The setup down there, if you liken it to Detroit, the Edward Jones Dome is very much like our Ford Field, a big NFL football stadium. Next to it is the America Center. That would be like our Cobo Hall sitting right next to Ford Field. The whole pit area is in the Cobo Hall, and there's 5 fields set up on the floor of the Edward Jones Dome.
Let's take a look at our teams that will compete for the championship as we're in the finals. Here's the Red Alliance, the hot team, the Tech Vikes and the EngiNERDs. All hoping that the mechanical issues are in their rearview mirror.
That's right. I mean, these guys did the work in that third semifinal match. So we'll see if 67 is fixed now. They are on the field.
They had some extra time, courtesy of the timeout that was graciously given to them. And there's the 3 robots that will do battle to try to pump as many discs into their respective goals. As we go to the Blue Alliance robots and look at these three machines: Las Guerrillas, ThunderChickens, and Byting Bulldogs.
That's right. There you go. There's your Alliance captain, the number 2 seed overall, their first choice, and then their second choice here. It's going to be an awesome match. I don't know what else there is to say. Again, they've been world champs. They've been world champs 2 times. State champs 1 time. State champs 2 times. There's only been 2 multiple state champ winners. And Hot Team has done it 3 times, 469 twice, 217 once. In 4 years, that means there's been 12 state champions, 12 state champion trophies. 3 of the teams on the field own 6 of those trophies. And of course, the Byting Bulldogs, they've been playing great. 217, 4, man, 6 great machines on the field here. The EngiNERDs, they started their season, they were struggling. And obviously they've worked through the season to bring themselves up to this level. They've been rock solid here in this tournament. I think they've been playing their role to perfection. And I think that would go to the scouting of 2054, the Tech Vikes, to pick that engine. There's some of the EngiNERDs right there. Because quite honestly, they struggled early in the year. They hosted a district up at their school this year for the first time, so I'm sure they put a lot of effort into that. And they pulled off a great district up there at Grand Blanc High School.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish, and that's the hardware that is up for grabs here this afternoon at the Convocation Center here at Eastern Michigan.
And there is some of the beautiful hardware they're going after right now.
After 128 qualifiers, a full afternoon of elimination matches, it comes down to these 6 teams. What we're going to do here is I'm going to announce each team one by one. When I call your team name, I want your drive team out here in front of your robot. Starting off on the Red Alliance, Team 67.
From Milford, Michigan and Huron Valley Schools, it's the Heroes of Tomorrow, the Hot Team.
Their partners, that number 1 seed, Team 2054. Come on down.
From Hopkins, it's the Tech Vikes, the number 1 seed.
Rounding it out with Team 2337.
Nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert. From Grand Blanc, it's the EngiNERDs.
And I know that the Blue Alliance isn't going to make it easy for them. Let's meet them. It's Team 469.
From Bloomfield Hills, it's the Las Guerrillas.
Their partners, 217.
From Sterling Heights, it's the ThunderChickens.
And rounding it out with 3539.
From Washington, it's the Byting Bulldogs.
All right. Now, while we have all these teams out here, a lot of them, it's not the first time they've stared each other in the face. In fact, these teams know each other very well, dating all the way back to 2008. In 2008, Great Lakes Regional, held in this very building, Team 217 and Team 67 saw each other in the finals. 67 bested them in that event, but in a championship event worth remembering, the 2008 World Championship, they saw each other again on Einstein Finals, and this time it was the Chickens. In 2009, they decided enough of this bickering, and they went on to win 3 events together, including the Michigan State Championship. In 2010, they tried again. They were paired together for the Michigan State Championship, but this team had something to say about it. Team 469 came up against them in the finals and took them down. skipping to 2012, when Team 67 faced 2054 in the finals right here. And now they're together. Forget about you guys. My favorite story, though, about these 6 teams, the drive coaches for Team 217 and 3539, former co-mentors, brothers, paired together at the Michigan State Championship. So teams, come on forward, give each other a shake of the hands, and let's get this thing underway. Red Alliance, you gonna let them do that to you? Let me hear it for the Red Alliance! And the Blue Alliance! Blue Alliance, are you ready?
So we get set for our final match between these two Red and Blue Alliance teams. And it is out here. Who's going to start fast? Looks like both teams come out shooting well in autonomous in the first 15 seconds here. Highly efficient shooting, but looks like the Blue Alliance with the advantage.
Yep, I see 66-48 coming out of autonomous. Advantage to the Blue Alliance.
That's Las Guerrillas loading up and heading the other direction to line up and fire in 1, 2, 3. Looks like they made all 4. And some long distance shooting from in the corner for the Blue Alliance by the ThunderChickens, who lead by, it looks like, 30 points.
And now 67 has got the long shot going, so they were able to get positioned with a little help from the EngiNERDs.
Fighting Bulldogs underneath the tower now, but blocked effectively by the EngiNERDs for the Red Alliance. You see the hot team in the corner trying to fire from distance.
EngiNERDs in a blocking position again. Still the Blue Alliance pulling away at this point, a 30-point advantage.
And the hot team is knocking them in from distance. I'm counting like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in a row. Is this unreal or what?
Now they are rapid firing. It's unbelievable the way they're feeding them in. Taking a huge lead, the Red Alliance at this point.
The Red Alliance, the hot team is not being checked, and they are just running wild here. Looks like a 20-point lead here. The Blue Alliance is shooting well on their own, though.
And they're going for the climb. 67 going for the climb.
Only 28 seconds left in this first championship round.
Right now it looks like all red with the climbs being executed. The Bulldogs firing them in. The Byting Bulldogs underneath. 67 going up. The Blue Alliance battling back with the disc.
The hot team is climbing there. The hot team robot, I should say.
They've got the Reds. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All 3 Red Alliance robots have elevated as the clock hits 0, almost 200 points unofficially for the Red Alliance.
I tell you what, that worked to perfection for the Red Alliance. I don't think they could have hoped for much more than what just took place there. Clearly the 67 machine, they got that drivetrain fixed thanks to a timeout called by the opposition alliance. And they were drilling the long shots. It looks like we're going to take a look at that on replay.
I have not seen a run like this. Watch right here.
And watch them pile up down here. Let's see how many are in the air at one time. There's 1, 2. Coming in, 1, 2, 3. Just one after the other. I know there are 3 motors in that machine used to launch the discs. And just piling up down here on the end.
Wow.
And then executing the climb. You know, it looked like they had an issue right early on. The EngiNERDs came over, gave them a bump, and it woke them back up. So again, the EngiNERDs on top of the game. It seems like they know always the right thing to do at the right time. They're well coached back there. Clinton Bollinger is the mentor on the EngiNERDs. Obviously, those students and Clinton are a great team back there.
Here's the hot team's robot for Red Alliance in their climb.
469 plays them clean, as they had to, because once they start that climb, they can't be bumped. You see it latch on here, then they pull up, the secondary hooks latch on, extending up, and once that bottom of that machine clears, they're at the 30-point level. And 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 50-point climb. And you can't draw it up any better than that. And that's where you talk about these kids. A few moments ago, right, backs against the wall in that third match in the semifinals.
They're in panic mode.
Absolutely. It's over, right? We're packing up, we're going home. Think about Michigan, what was it, against Kansas?
Right.
The game was over. And Trey Burke throws up a three-pointer from another state.
And they're still playing.
And they're still playing. These kids, right? They recover from that, come out, drive the wheels off the thing.
And so here's our score total. The disc points, the climb points, everything falling into the place for Red Alliance.
Wow, unbelievable. I mean, 170 to 165. So the Red Alliance holds their own and even a little advantage over the blue. That surprises me. And then they get a full 50 points worth of climb. That means all of their machines were up. The 30-point climb plus 2 10 points and no climb points over here.
And here's the Red Alliance piling up points from 3 machines at the top of their game.
Looks like we're in the pits looking at the Tech Vike machine. Again, the Hopkins High School team. Hopkins, a little bit south of Grand Rapids, if you don't know where that's at. Great folks, a great team. You talk to these folks, some of the nicest people you ever want to meet. Oh.
Here's the ThunderChickens, and they are going to have to revisit their strategy right here. Blocking the hot team, Red Alliance robot, is paramount.
Yep, and so where we just saw this was a couple weeks ago at the Troy District. 469 was against 67. The third member of that team of the 469 Alliance, it was 469 along with 245 the Atombots, and the team out of Boyne City Blaze. And Boyne City, they put a block mechanism on this. You know, basically what you're looking at is pool noodles, folks. 99-cent pool noodles being constructed and put together. And it worked to perfection when the Boyne City team did it against 67 just a couple weeks ago in Troy. And so now we're seeing the ThunderChicken machine being fitted for that, so that 67 can't just sit in front of their loading station, their feeding station, and pound them in.
Here's the EngiNERDs Red Alliance robot getting a look-see. And how much time do these teams have to open things up and look under the hood here?
Well, right now, if we look out on the field, there is a clock running, so I see it's counting down from 250 seconds. So again, when we go matches back to back, where we have the same teams, right, they do need some time to cool down some motors. With the way some of these things are run, they can really heat up. You might even see teams back there with a little can of Freon, spraying them on the motors to cool things down to get them ready for the next match. And so we've got, it looks like just under 4 minutes before the machines have to be back out on the field here. There's 469. Here's a good shot. Look at all the sponsors on this 469 machine. Well, it just got eclipsed a little bit there by one of the students working on it. And obviously, that's what you need to do.
Let's go in the pitch right now. Sarah with the ThunderChickens from the Blue Alliance.
Yes, I'm here with Austin Smith from the ThunderChickens. Now, you guys are putting on a blocker. Why put one on this late in the game?
Well, at this point, Hot's a lot better long shooter than we are. They're much more accurate, and they're much more of an offensive threat than we are from the long shot. So if we can block them and play more defense, we feel it'll benefit our alliance a lot more. So we're going to do that, and hopefully it'll turn out right. So.
All right, well, thank you very much, and hopefully that works out for you guys. Back to you guys.
All right, Sarah, the saying that offense wins games, defense wins championships. The Blue Alliance is going to test that theory.
Well, I think what we're going to see right away then is 67 will start cycling like some of the other machines. They do that quite well also. So I think right off the bat, we'll see them go down, they'll load up, they'll drive to their pyramid rather than trying to set up the long shot. Or, so one of two things will happen, Dan. 67 will start cycling, or 67 will try to set up, and the EngiNERDs are going to come over and try to muscle 217, the ThunderChickens, out of there. So this is a point where a little bravado, right? Okay, 217, you think you can come in there? The EngiNERDs are sitting there saying, bring it on. We're going to push you back, and we're going to establish the 67 long shot.
And maybe a little misdirection and some deception might help too.
There's that too. Now there's a certain height. If they go, I believe it's over 60 inches, if they put that blocker at 84 inches, the ThunderChickens have to stay down on that end of the field. Because if they cross over the blue line, then that would be a penalty. You can only be that tall when you're down in front of your end on the scoring. So it'll be interesting to see if they put a 60-inch on or an 84.
In the pitch we go. Sarah Santarski standing by with the hot team for the Red Alliance.
Back with Emma Beatty with Team Hot. Now, you guys had the problem before the finals, and now what has happened with your robot?
We have made a huge turnaround, and I think some of it might have been a little bit of luck, but we beat the other alliance, and we could not be happier right now. I think it brought our drive team way back up in their morals and their spirits and everything. So we're going to go back out there. We saw the opposing alliance putting up pool noodles and nets on their robot, so we're a little nervous that they're going to block us, but we got the EngiNERDs on them, getting them off of us, so hopefully we'll be able to come back and do that again.
Well, thank you so much, Emma. Good luck in the next match, and we'll go back to you guys.
All right, so maybe Emma gave us the strategy right there. Emma said, we're going to put the EngiNERDs on them. So look for a little pushing match down here. If the ThunderChickens come in, look for those EngiNERDs out of Grand Blanc to try to push that Utica Community School out of the way and open up that long shot for the Milford team.
The robots going mano a mano, if you will, as the robots now come back to the playing field here for what could be the last competition of the day if the Red Alliance wins.
You know what else that does, though, Dan? With the ThunderChickens putting those pool noodles on, we had seen the EngiNERDs playing D on the Byting Bulldogs. If they've got to go and play D on 217, it's free reign out there for 469, the Lost Guerrillas, and the Byting Bulldogs. And we know those cats can fly. We know they can put up a lot of discs. So this becomes very intriguing, right? So 2054 is maybe the one machine out there. They're doing their thing. They're scooping them up. They're picking up the misses that 67 has, putting them in. But now those pool noodles, right? For all this technology, Dan, pool noodles, they may be the difference.
The cheapest item on the robot.
You know, for some reason, I thought of this a couple weeks ago, the movie Apocalypse Now. There's the scene where they're going up the river and a spear kills that boat captain. For all the technology, he was going up the river, and what did him in? Not a helicopter, not napalm, it was a spear.
Low tech.
Low tech. And it may be pool noodles. Pool noodles were no ifs, ands, or buts. The difference at Troy, pool noodles may be the difference here.
Engineering isn't always about high tech. Sometimes it's low tech.
And that's, you know, making use of what's available. Additionally, what they will have needed to do, and there's that Thunder Chicken machine. Look at it. Look at those beautiful pool noodles on there, right? And they're still programming. They're tethered up. Generally what they're doing, these cables you see here, they're tethering the computer to the brains on the robot. It's a National Instruments. They call it a National Instruments C-RIO. That's what the students program and runs these machines. We get a bird's eye view. They're passing right in front of Dan and I right now. And the other thing they had to do, I'm sure they had the head inspector right there, because now this machine didn't go through inspection with those pool noodles, but I guarantee you the head inspector was right there. The machine is legal.
And so the final robot enters the playing field. Will that added netting give the Thunder Chicken robot enough defense to stop the Hot Team robot for the Red Alliance?
And the one thing I see, Dan, is it looks like they've gone with 60 inches, right? So that's 5 feet. That looks like it's 5 feet. That's not 84 inches. That still allows them to go anywhere on the field and not have to worry about a penalty. The drawback is that means they need to pull up closer to be able to block the 67 shot. So, you know, when you're 84, the shot of 67 comes out pretty low, and it's a line drive. And so if what we heard from Emma was right now those EngiNERDs, they're zeroing in on that 217 machine. They're thinking, okay, how do we play him D? Can we push him back? Final positioning on the 217 machine there. And one of those items, if we stay right there, you know, use what you've got. A lot of teams, that's basically a 5-gallon bucket that they've cut. Those discs fit perfectly into some of these 5-gallon buckets. And those disc holding buckets right there, you see one.
A Red Alliance victory means they are the 2013 state champions in the Michigan First Robotics State Competition.
What's interesting here too, if the Red Alliance were to win, that would give 67 their 4th state championship in 5 years. If the Blue Alliance wins, that gives 469 their 3rd state championship, tying them with 67. It would additionally be giving 217 their 2nd state championship. And of course, 35-39, the Byting Bulldogs, it would be their 1st state championship. 2054 looking for their 1st state championship. They'd love to bring that big trophy back to Hopkins. And similarly, the EngiNERDs, they'd like to take one north up to Grand Blanc High School.
All right, we are golden. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Michigan, are you ready to potentially find out your next state champions? 3, 2, 1, go!
The autonomous rounds begins. Who's getting off to the fast start here? Not a lot of separation early as we close out the autonomous round. Maybe a minor lead for the Red Alliance. And now it is game on. Can hot team for the Red Alliance get in position to fire from distance? So far, so good. The Blue Alliance blocking and scoring with Las Guerrillas doing the shooting. And it's hot team unable to get in position like they did the last round.
It looks like they've got a drivetrain issue again. Now they're back into their safe zone. Now EngiNERDs running interference, but in the meantime, the Byting Bulldogs, 469, just cycling like crazy. It looks like finally 67's got the shot. Now, can they start hammering them home? Can they close the gap? The problem is with the drivetrain, I don't think.
There's only 30 seconds left, and it's about a 50-point lead for the Blue Alliance. A lot of ground to make up.
But now there was a penalty over there, I think. 67 machine not running right. They'd taken a shot. Huge advantage for the Blue Alliance. 469 coming back up to the pyramid. Firing, firing, firing. Just scoring, scoring, scoring. And they hang. Byting Bulldogs firing.
Unofficial scoring as we go to 0. A big lead for the Blue Alliance. If that lead holds, we're going to have a third and deciding match here.
Yeah, it's interesting. The Blue Alliance, 469, 35-39, just pouring on the offense, pouring the disc in, and 67 is on again, off again, right? Something in that drivetrain, it's not driving right. One match they look like $1 million, and then the next one, they can't get into position. And so something on one side of that drivetrain is not allowing the drive straight. The EngiNERDs are coming over trying to help get them in position, and it's just not working out. Additionally, I think they're out of timeouts. And so now they're really under the gun.
Here's the Blue Alliance finding their comfort zone and knocking in the discs and scoring points.
Yeah, underneath the Byting Bulldogs, 469. 469 is just so solid, right? Match after match, running cycles in that one. They load quick, they get back to the pyramid quick, they can fire them up. 469, awesome machine. What they can do in the autonomous, impressive.
Let's go in the pits now. The ThunderChickens and their robot. Talking about that, here is Sarah with one of their participants. Sarah?
I am here with Justin Schultz of the ThunderChickens. Now, you guys were initially trying to block putting up the pool noodles and everything, but you did do a lot of offense last match. Can you talk a little bit about what's going on with your robot?
Yeah, well, since we put the blocker on, we put it on high enough that we can still shoot. So in order to get some extra points, we ran back and forth across the field, and every time we made all of our shots, we would try and stop Hot from making a couple. So it not only would gain points, but we stopped them from gaining points as well, just like a double offset.
Well, that's great. Thank you very much, and now we'll go back to you guys.
As we get our score update.
We just found another phone, and it's on its way to pit administration. Oh, here comes our scores. Let's find out if we have a winner. Okay. Red was up by 1. 190 to 118. The Blue Alliance. We're going to 3.
So a big, rousing comeback day for the Blue Alliance, and they force it to a third and final championship match.
Easily winning that one. Easily winning that one. You know, 177 to 89. 190 points. You know, we've seen higher scores, but plenty in this match. Again, because we saw 217. 217 added those pool noodles. As the young man said in the interview, they were able to run back and forth, score a few, and at the same time disrupt that long-range shot of 67. And the whole time, 469 and 35-39 are pouring them in. 35-39, picking them up off the ground, and he misses, firing them in from underneath the pyramid. 469 running cycles. Wow, you know, so the W on that one goes to that Blue Alliance, and we're going to a third match.
So let's get the replay of the offensive onslaught from that Blue Alliance.
And again, see 469 coming back and autonomous. Picking these two up. Let's see if they score these. I'm not sure if they did or not. They pull forward. Oh, but I mean, that's impressive. And Dan, I believe we are in a timeout situation, so it looks like it will be about 5 minutes before the machines need to be back on the field, where the clock is at 300 seconds right now. So it'll be about 5 minutes before our next match. Our next and final match, I should say.
right now. All right, as we wait for the start of this last round with these two Red and Blue Alliance teams, let's go back in the pits and check in with Sarah.
I am back here with Emma from Team Hot. Now, what is your strategy going into this final match?
Our strategy is definitely going to be to keep Team 217 off of us so that we can just keep getting those frisbees in the goal, because that's really what is going to get us the win. And to definitely to climb. We actually popped one of our chains and we've been going without it since it broke. And so we're trying our best with what we have, and climbing is for sure going to be one of the big things.
Well, good luck. It's going to be a good one. Now back to you, Dan and Dave.
All right, one big finish here.
Yeah, I think the 67 machine, they definitely need full power to be able to do the climb. And as Emma just told us, I think they know without the long-range shooting working for 67, they cannot go disc for disc with the Blue Alliance. They just can't keep up with them. With 469, 3539 from 3539 to Byting Bulldogs out of Washington. That's the Romeo Engineering and Technology Center. The Red Alliance can't go disc for disc with them, guys. And so they need that long-range shot of 67. And I think Emma gave us a clue. They're going to have to get that climb in. Now, in this case, we also know the Blue Alliance, they know well if 67 pulls up to that pyramid, if they get close to where if that climb begins, they can't touch them. Otherwise, the climb is basically awarded. So hopefully, we'll see all 6 machines working. There's a good shot of the Byting Bulldog machine. Again, this machine out of Washington, just the 3rd year in the competition. They've made it to state all 3 years. So as a rookie, they made it here. As a 2nd-year team, they made it here. As a 3rd-year team. So here's a program that's building fast and furious up there in Washington and doing a great job. And interesting, 2 weeks ago at Troy, it was the Byting Bulldogs together with 67. It was 469 that beat them up there. Now 469 and the Byting Bulldogs together, certainly putting it to 67 in their alliance in the last.
You have to know your adversary well.
Absolutely. Again, we look at, where they're from here. 67 out of Milford, 2054 out of Hopkins, 2337 from Grand Blanc, the Guerrillas 469 from Bloomfield Hills, the ThunderChickens, that's Utica Community Schools, they're in Sterling Heights, and then 3539 out of Washington from the Romeo Engineering and Technology Center. And there are tiebreakers. Should we finish this match and the score be tied, I believe it would first go to see if it was a clean match, if it was unpenalized, and then I believe autonomous points figure into that. I don't think we'll see a tie. I think we're going to see somebody come out of this one on top, and we're going to have our 2013 Michigan First Robotics Competition state champions in just a few minutes. Dan, I mentioned, the teams that have been state champs before, they're on the field. But what's great is for sure, whatever alliance wins, there's going to be students on that alliance that become state champs for the first time. It can be the Hopkins team or the EngiNERDs. It'd be the first time for them. On the other side, it'd be the Byting Bulldogs being the first time. So someone is going to go home as a state champ for the first time.
469.
From Bloomfield Hills, International Academy, the Los Guerrillas.
The energy in the room, palpable, tense, 128 matches, a crazy afternoon of elims, broken robots, modified robots, absolutely insane. Waiting for my last thumbs up. Let's go! Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? I know you guys are ready, Michigan. 3, 2, 1,
So this
go!
final round begins, the autonomous round. Who's going to get off to a better start? And Dave, a lot of pressure on the driving that is engineered by the students. The machines are in good shape. How effective will the driving be?
Yeah, it'll be execution now. Hopefully everything's fixed. Looks like the 67 machine is driving well. So now it's down to execution.
The Blue Alliance with almost 60 points.
Huge lead coming out of autonomous for the Blue Alliance. That certainly sets the Red Alliance back on their heels.
Again, it's all unofficial until it's all tallied up. And there's Hot Team getting that robot into position to shoot from distance. Can they get in that comfort zone and start pouring them in a little bit high? Now they're on a bit of a run. But the blocking comes into play. This is ThunderChicken. And an 84-51 lead for the Blue Alliance. Let's see if the EngiNERDs robot can manufacture some points for the Red Alliance. Right now, a 30-point lead with a lot of time left, almost 1 minute left. Now, the Hot Team robot abandons its position, and that really changes the strategy now. Good blocking by Byting Bulldogs.
That's right, huge lead for the Blue Alliance.
Red Alliance has got to get points.
67 having issues at the pyramid.
Looks like the Hot Team is going to start climbing.
I think they're trying to dump out their disc. I think they've got a jam problem. Huge lead for the Blue Alliance. We had seen 2054, the Tech Vikes, try to push 217 out there. No luck at all with that. Now 67 going for the climb.
That EngiNERDs robot is having a tough time discharging those frisbees. And now it's time to climb with 10 seconds left and a sizable lead for the Blue Alliance.
Yep, I don't think the hang points will be nearly enough for the Red Alliance.
Unofficially, 133 to 63 in favor of the Blue Alliance, but they've got to tally everything.
Dan, you know what I think it came down to? Pool noodles. Pool noodles. 67 had just got that long shot going. ThunderChickens come over there with their, 60-inch blocker. I think that's going to be the difference. It looks like 469 is hanging because there's 50 hang points for the Red Alliance. The ThunderChickens definitely are not, but it only looks like a 40-point benefit at the pyramid for the Red Alliance.
So 469 from Los Guerrillas. I see separation off the ground there. Right. A little harder to see over there, though.
Yeah, so here's 67 going up. So the climb mechanism is working, but that dry terrain on that one side finicky and causing them problems through the tournament. Climb working well. 67 did not win a district this year. They'd been working on that climb, and basically it took a long time to get that thing to climb properly. So there you see 469. It does look like they are off the ground and that was good for a climb. Awesome machine here, that International Academy 469 machine.
ThunderChickens with some heavy defense as we take a look at how that third match played out. See ThunderChickens shooting there for the Blue Alliance, but it's the defense by Los Guerrillas and Byting Bulldogs that may have paved the way.
Right, and I think telling here was those discs. There was a jam up. That's why you see 67 doing that, trying to clear that shoot mechanism. And they couldn't do it. And therefore they just headed towards the climb.
So they're taking down the hot team robot for the Red Alliance, and all the other robots have left the field of play. So the officials continue to tabulate the final score, which will be presented here in a moment. A lot of tension and excitement. Look. A celebration for the Blue Alliance. ThunderChickens, Los Guerrillas, and Byting Bulldogs. The defense stepped up in that third match and won it.
And there you have it, yeah. 145. I mean, the 129, not even close on the disc points. Yes, they came back with the climb points, but it wasn't going to be enough to overcome those disc points. So, for the second time, 217 is a state champ. They were state champs in 2009. Now again here, the first time for 35-39 out of Washington, the Byting Bulldogs, first time state champs, and now the third time for 469.
So an exciting finish here. The adrenaline and the excitement pays off. Here's a replay of the shooting in the autonomous round for the Blue Alliance.
Yeah, great start for them. There's the celebration taking place. 469 team, 217. Byting Bulldogs back there. These teams put a lot of time and effort into this.
And again, there's some long-term payoff, certainly beyond today, but there's the final. All these great teams and robots and students that have spent so much time and energy as the Alliance #2 wins. And we thank all of you who have been watching us on the web. We thank you for enjoying this presentation of the Michigan First Robotics State Championship. For my partner Dave Verbrugge and Sarah Sentarski, I'm Dan Gutowski. We say so long from the Convocation Center here at Eastern Michigan.